From K, you said, what do you think key features, what do you think will be key features in the next expansion? Will we see a new class / more specs and less systems heavy features? Also, any locations in Azeroth we could return to? That's a fun one. All right, so the first thing, key features. I can say that Towley just looked at the camera and said, 10.0 will be different. It'll be different. It'll be different. Yeah, like, I think it'll be different. I've heard it's different. And that makes me think less systems.
Yeah,
it kind of does make me think that. Does make me think that whatever the features will be, they'll probably be a little bit more rooted in player fantasy and, player fantasy and content. I have a suspicion that it's going to be that, given what has universally not worked well in Shadowlands.
Yeah, you would hope so, at least.
Yeah, you would. You totally would. So that's, I put forward my idea of like what a sort of a revamp of class order halls could look like. I wonder what other things along those lines Blizzard would do. Maybe if they're going to be themed around that new expansion. I'd obviously prefer things that are building like World of Warcraft fundamentally better forever, like player housing and stuff. Maybe they finally heard people in player housing. I mean, I don't know. They have seemed quite resistant to it in the past.
It's really awkward because I think the thing that they could maybe do this better than anything else is, because I know the way they operate as a company, they will never say anything about something that isn't a final feature.
Yeah.
They're never going to speculate on what features are available, but I would love for them to turn around and say, all right, you fucks have been asking for player housing for years. Here is the times we've explored it. Here are our literal internal findings. Here's the person who was working on it, like the senior engineer. Here's the lead engineer who was working on it. And here's what they have to say from their own mouths about why it will be challenging and why it will take substantial time to solve and might be a future feature, as opposed to, complete deathly silence despite everyone going, where is it? Please. Yeah. Can you at least pretend you hear us? Because if they do, I mean, it's kind of the same problem as always, where if we assume they hear us, we have no indication of it. And if that's what happens, then to us, we're being ignored because we don't see the opaque things happening behind the curtain.
It's where the wall of silence feel is not hyper useful, I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess that's really what's going on with it.
Yeah, they just need to go, here's literal complete transparency. Like it would need to be the results of an exploration. It wouldn't need to be, couldn't just be a senior engineer saying, sorry, we can't do that. That's too hard. It would need to be, listen, here's assets from when we tried. Here's footage from when we tried. Here's literally, here's a section of the report that I delivered to, say a producer, say, in an example, John Hyde asks is it feasible because he's got the producer role and they go, here's why it's not. Can we see some of that communication so we can, it's kind of awkward because you don't want to have to say, sorry, we need the hard evidence, but we kind of do at this point.
Yeah.
At least that's what I feel about player housing specifically.
Yeah, I think that's pretty damn fair. Yeah, pretty damn fair. As for locations to return to, I think the obvious one's Dragon Isles. It's going to be Azeroth.
Yeah, it has to be.
Because that's the one that is established. Because it's Kazan, sort of, the ship has sailed a bit.
Yeah.
Plunder Isle, Talabeam. It's there's, unless they really manage to expand what those are, and I think that would be quite hard to do.
For sure.
I just don't see those happening. And then other side of Azeroth, if they want to do a big, whoa, this is a big crazy new thing, they could do other side of Azeroth. But, I mean, speculating about that, all we could really say is what of the other secret Titan facilities where there are Uldaz, Uldoros, and the 4 other Ulds that we don't currently know about. So, yeah, there's that. I think that's sort of a quick little summary of next WoW expansion expectations. Probably going to be on the up. I don't think they'll shit the bed again because, frankly, I mean, Bobby will send in the boys or, send in the fucking disciplinary squad if World of Warcraft experiences another major problem because, frankly, it's just worth too much money to the company.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, and that's why I'm hopeful, if not for 10.0, for 11.0, because there's too much riding on it financially for them to continually get to destroy it.
Yeah,
because as soon as the coffers are empty, the C-suite are going to come in and start booting people out if they haven't done the job. And as hopefully that's not what's necessary in the end. Hopefully 10.0 can be a decent salvage, but if it's not, I still trust. I feel the IP is too important to executives to not give it to a fresh team if things do go really, really far south. So at least, who knows what direction that'll take, but at least the IP won't be completely dead. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. No. They know Warcraft's just worth too much. I mean, it's like they would never let Call of Duty die, right? I mean, Call of Duty might be outcompeted, but they would go to any lengths to make sure that Call of Duty is not going to be totally destroyed.
Yeah. For sure.
I imagine they will wrestle the power to make it happen with Warcraft if they need to. And certainly, the two leaders don't come from Blizzard. And you could say that's a good thing in a way, right? Actual new fresh blood, which you could certainly argue is needed. But in a way also where it would make it a little bit easier to, affect change at Blizzard from a top level, I would imagine, and I've heard rumblings of. So there's that.